Okay.
Sorry.
It's all good. Thanks for doing this, Angie.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. Although I think it's just us right
And
now.
yeah, it might just be us. I'm okay. I'm okay with that. Um, it'll be chiller that way, I guess. And I'll share this later. I'll save it and then we can share it later.
Oh
But
man.
yeah, thanks for coming on with me. How was your Sunday?
It was good. Yeah, a little tiring. But it was good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's late right now.
It
It's
is.
8:30 p.m. when we're recording this. What time do your Sundays normally start?
It varies. Today was a little bit earlier. Kind of had like an accident come up with one of the cars, so it was a little bit earlier.
Oh my goodness.
But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
so normally it
Yeah.
depends on where I'm at. Sometimes it starts at 5 in the morning.
Oh,
Sometimes
wow.
it starts at
Wow.
like 8. Yeah, so
Wow.
yeah.
Okay, well, first off, I'm glad you're okay with whatever happened to your accident. Are you okay? You're all right, right?
Yeah,
Are
yeah,
you
yeah.
okay?
No, it was just something
Okay.
happened with one of the cars when my dad and my brother were on the way to church today.
Oh,
So
wow.
just, yeah, trying to figure out the ride situation with that because usually
Okay.
like at least one of us will carpool together.
Oh, I see. I see. I
Yeah, yeah,
see.
yeah. So it was just like a little crazy. I was still asleep when it happened, and so yeah,
I think I think it is definitely challenging to try to adjust to this entire situation, especially with trying to do worship online. At least that's the situation for our church, where we're still broadcasting to the parking lot and then to the internet, I guess. How do you like it? How do you feel when you and I are playing?
I think it helps that so many people have been coming out to the drive-in service. I think it's really encouraging, considering that I know, yeah, it was. It kind of took a lot to get here in a way
Hmm.
from what I'm aware of, and so yeah, it's always just really nice to see everyone. Especially, I know a lot of people in here are in that group on the side
Yeah,
with all the lawn chairs,
yeah, yeah.
and so yeah. Yeah, it's always just a blessing. And how do I feel? I guess being outside does make it seem more casual for some reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's good. It's always nice. It just feels like home in a way.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I agree with you. There's not really a stage. We're just sort of like on the sidewalk or like the
Yeah.
curb. So I guess yeah, it does like lend a little bit more of like being comfortable, I guess, and more like we're all like even here, I suppose. Um, I want to do a quick rundown of our set from last week. I
Hmm.
want to know your thoughts because you and me we get to play, but sometimes we don't get to recap how it went. So
This
I
is
want to
true.
I want to pick your mind. Okay, so this was actually the third time that you and I led together, and it's just been you and me without a team. Our
Yeah.
first song was "Turn Your Eyes." Can you recap that for me? How'd you feel?
Yeah.
Actually, no,
Well,
no. Let's start with your introduction. Let's start with your call to worship.
oh my gosh, guys.
That was
So
awesome. Yeah, you can
oh
tell the
my
story.
goodness. So yeah, that Sunday, Hanley was about to pray, and then Aaron turns to me all of a sudden and goes, "Can you do the intro?" And in my head, I go to I think piano intro, and I'm like, what intro? I'm not playing. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing right now. And then he was like, so I was like, what intro? He goes, like the telling everyone to sing and like stand, and I was like, oh, seriously? And I literally had like 2 minutes as Hanley's trying to like run through this in my head. Like, okay, so obviously you have to start with Happy New Year and kind of like, okay, there are so many ways I could go with this, but let's just, yeah. And then, so I actually, so, yeah, like I think it came out okay. But for sure I was shaking during Turn Your Eyes because of the leftover jitters from that introduction. And I was like, Aaron, why are you doing this to me?
Okay, I do apologize because yes, that was rushed. some more backstory was that we actually didn't get too much practice time because the other service went a little bit over time. So I probably should have asked you beforehand. My thought was, oh, Angie is actually starting this song, right? Because you take the first verse. So I was like, oh, it actually makes sense because you're singing the first verse if you actually give the call to worship. So I'm just going to ask you to do it. So I do apologize for that because, yes, that was rushed. However, I think it was great. I think it was better than whatever I would have done. So thanks for doing it. Thanks for doing it. I might ask you to do it again.
I'll be more ready.
But that was awesome. You did great. After you gave the call to worship, I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go. Let's do this. So you started the song. You started Turn Your Eyes. How'd you feel about that whole song?
Yeah, well, it was great. Up until the second verse, and now everyone can get an insider in what happens in a worship leader's head because So, the stand was put in a way where it was actually to my peripheral. So, I had to keep kind of turning my head. And so I think when I was going to the second verse, part of me was like, oh yeah, I know this. And then I sang the completely wrong line, which was hilarious because I had literally just told the congregation, oh, make sure you have a program so you have the words to sing along with us. And yeah, so now they all know I sang the completely wrong line at the end of the second verse. And I didn't even want to look at Aaron at that point. I was like, I'm just going to keep going because I know he's laughing at me right now. And I was like, no. So
I wasn't laughing. At first I was like, wait, did she sing the wrong line? I was like thinking it through and I was like, yeah, she did. But by that time we were already into the second verse or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was okay. Yeah, I was fine with it. We moved on.
Well, yeah, I was like, did I sing the wrong line? And I was like, I don't feel like that was right. And then I looked down as we were singing the chorus and I was like, oh no.
You didn't hesitate
okay.
though. You didn't stop or anything, or you didn't give an indication.
Yeah,
so
I was so convinced it was the right line. And then it was not.
You're a pro. Let's see. By the time we got to the end of the song, right? I guess that's normally when. Normally, I stop playing guitar at that point, and we just sing a cappella.
Yeah.
One reason why is because it allows me time to change my capo in time for the next song. The second reason why is because I do want to give us more time to actually hear the congregation sing and just hear, I guess, each other, I guess. And so I feel like I want to create more space like that, especially with this outside situation where we don't really get to do this too much. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's kind of my take going into that. How do you feel about those a cappella moments?
Yeah, well, we've been doing it for, I think, ever since we started singing the song together. So I kind of know to anticipate it at this point. But yeah, it's, what was I going to say? I think this is the part where I miss being in the sanctuary, because during that chorus, it is always very hard to hear everyone. And it's so sad because we know that if we were in the MAC doing normal worship pre-COVID, we'd be able to hear everybody and it would be such a powerful moment.
Right.
Yeah, and if anything, hearing everybody else encourages everyone to sing louder. So yeah, kind of a bummer that we're outside, so the sound kind of gets sucked away, and then everyone is so far apart too. So really, all we hear is ourselves, and it's always
I agree with you. I agree with you
underwhelming.
On that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but, thank you for.
Yeah, very smart ploy with the capo because those who see me at IT worship know that is always the most awkward part in between. So, yeah.
It's not only for the capo, okay? I don't want you to think that I'm just doing it for the capo, okay? I also feel like it's risky too, because whenever you're switching a capo and you're singing, sometimes I'm thinking about the words versus actually thinking about where I'm putting the capo. And I don't want to put the capo in the wrong spot. So it's a double risk. It's a double risk. Should we move on? Do you have anything else to say about Turn Your Eyes?
No, it's a good song. I've really grown to love it. And I think it's actually it's kind of cool how it started becoming an anthem for our church as well. I've seen a lot of people. Yeah, I know Kristen is in here. I know Kristen really likes that song. And then,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I know PT shared it the other day. And yeah, it's a very very nice almost modern twist on the hymns since they changed the words a little bit. But yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad that you enjoy it. I guess that's what happens when you keep playing the song over and over again. Our second song was How Deep the Father's Love for Us. This is our first time playing this song. I took the first verse, you took the second verse, and then we both did the third. Any thoughts on this one?
No, it was nice to do it in E flat because I hadn't done, usually when I sing it, I'll sing it in D.
Right.
But yeah, there's always like the difference between like sharp keys and flat keys is really subtle. But I think for that one, it actually played really, really well. It didn't seem as like vanilla in a way. And so, yeah. So I think, it was really good. I mean, I've been singing that song since I was like maybe in elementary school, for sure, youth worship. So it's always one that like I come back to. It's one of my go-tos, and the words are really good. So
I feel that, we haven't sang it for a long time. Definitely, I don't remember the last time I ever sang it with you. So it was nice to hear you singing it and to, just kind of sing it with the rest of the church. Our third song was God is the Strength of My Heart and My Portion Forever. Okay, this one I guess we should talk about a lot. This was like, I guess this was our third time playing it. And this was actually the first time we played it like in the actual set, not at like the end. Okay, so let me have it. What do you think about it?
Honestly, like, the start of the song always kind of like gets to me. Like I get nervous because the guitar picking is usually so soft, and then and I'm like, okay, I'm like ramping myself up because I think the last time we sang this, I sort of stumbled on the second chorus because it's changed ever so slightly.
I do,
So ever since then, I'm always like, oh, okay, like make sure I have the right chorus in my head, and like. So I was like, it doesn't matter if people see me like looking at the words. I really don't know this as well as I should.
It's fine.
But I feel like it gets better each time, I think. I don't know. It's your song, Aaron. What do you think?
I agree with you. I think it does get better each time. And I think that the picking part is something that I'm like, a little bit new to me, right? At least definitely for a worship song. Yeah. And so I'm thankful that it seems to be working out okay. I don't think I messed it up too much recently. But honestly, I'm just so thankful that you're willing to sing it with me and to try it with me. Like, I remember when I sent you the demo and I was like, man, this song is horrible. This song is the worst. And I was like, okay, I already committed to this. Let's just do it. And then when you came on Sunday and you sang it for the first time, I was like, man, the song's awesome. The song's great. And it's because you brought it to life. So Angie, thank you so much for giving a voice to the song and to these words. I'm honored, honestly, that you would take the time to learn it and to sing it and to teach it to our church and to lead our church with it. Like, I'm humbled. I'm honestly humbled. Yeah. Aww. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Well, yeah, the first thing I thought was like, oh man, like this is first. Well, I think I was there the first time when no, I wasn't, because I think the first time you introduced Trust in Him at All Times was in Unicoi, so I wasn't serving with you. But
right.
Yeah, it was like that was like the last new Aaron song that I had. And so I was like, oh, he has another one, and then I was kind of like, oh wow, he's asking me to help sing with it. And so I was like, what do I do? Like, do I harmonize? Do I like what parts does he want me to take? And so I remember I was like with the chorus, because like the melody sort of changes, I was like, okay, I have to get this, and I had to like replay it a couple of times just to make sure. But it's a good song. It's really grown on me. And everyone, I remember the first time we played it, everyone was like, oh, it's so catchy. And I was like, that's good.
That's a good thing. Okay, so Trust in Him at All Times, that was me and Philip. The first time we played it was actually in IT. So we actually did it in IT first, and then we did it in Unicoi.
I think I was still in college. So
you probably were. Yeah. And then that Sunday, that was the first time you sang it with us on that.
Yeah.
The first time we played on Sunday. So I guess there's kind of a trend where you're the one introducing these new songs, I guess. But yeah, I guess it was the first new song since a while. And so yeah, thank you for doing it. Thanks for doing it.
Thanks for trusting me. I was
Oh,
like, oh man.
of course.
I messed this up.
Angie, you know all my songs. I trust you with all of them, definitely. Well, I don't want to keep talking about myself. We'll move to the fourth song, which was the response song, and that was
Yet Not I.
Yet Not I.
Yeah.
And you took the entire song on that one. You took
Yeah.
the entire So tell me about it. I thought you did great. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Yay.
Yeah, that's the one that I would highlight. If I was going to share something from the set.
Aww.
So yeah, what's your thought? What's your thought on that?
Yeah, well, yeah, I remember as we were practicing it, because we hadn't done that one in a while, and we did it lower. Aaron was nice enough to give me the option of what key I wanted in, and I opted for a lower key. So
It's a good key.
Yeah. So it worked out though. But yeah, I think before I was about to start the second verse, he's like, I'm just gonna have you sing the whole thing, and I was like, okay. So it was kind of cool. Yeah, and I like, from what I could see between me, like it's also a very, very wordy song. So between between me turning to the stand to like make sure my words were good, I could see like people raising their hands and just like worshiping in the congregation. And so yeah, it was I think it was good. It was a good choice to highlight. So
yes. I think you did awesome with it. And I just remember when I was playing guitar and hearing you singing, I felt like, okay, this is great, because I can actually, like, I guess in my heart, worship along with you. Like I wasn't worried like, oh, okay, I gotta like prompt Angie to do this, or I gotta watch what I'm doing here. No, I think you and I are growing as this, like, I guess 2-person team right now, and so I'm excited to see how it goes. I do miss our team. I do miss our big team. Yeah, but one day, I think this is just for pandemic times. And Angie, I'm just so thankful that you're willing to play with me. Thanks for doing it on Sundays.
Yeah, well, thanks for thinking of me to help you. Yeah, we have a big team, a lot of very capable people. So
yes.
Okay. So
one day we will make a comeback. Angie, you're also helping with Unikoi. And I saw on this Unikoi bio that you did that one of your dream jobs is to be a boba barista. So I want to ask you, what's your current boba diet now with the pandemic, and what's your current fave?
Boba diet? Oh man. Well, okay. So I guess the boba barista thing is because like my family has my parents. I think when my parents immigrated here, like they would get boba and stuff a lot. So growing up, we had it pretty frequently, and it was a weird concept to know that there were people who had it like very rarely, and I was very confused. But I think when I feel like during the pandemic, I started having more milk teas, which is rare because I usually like more of like the fruit green tea kind of stuff. But then I've also become very what's the word? Okay, I'm abandoning the big word choice. But I also grew to love oolong milk tea specifically.
Oh, okay.
Like roasted oolong milk tea. That's one of like my go-tos.
Yeah, Jess has been getting that recently too.
Yeah, it's so good because it's just like a different flavor. So I saw Vanessa ask favorite boba shop. There's two.
Yeah, what's your favorite so far? If I asked you right now, what would you get right now? Well, where'd you go and what's your drink?
Oh, right now. Well, there's so many. The thing is, like, depending on where I am, there's like different go-tos. It's so dangerous. Right by my house, down the street, there's like a 7 Leaves and a Share Tea. I'll usually go to 7 Leaves. 7 Leaves is like my go-to because they have coffee and tea. So I'll like kind of alternate. Trying to lay off the coffee because I was very big on coffee in college, and that was not good for my system. So yeah. But yeah, there's also a boba shop next door to our Kumon Center that also, that also, I really like their roasted oolong milk tea. So
What's it called?
Koyo, Koyo
Oh,
tea
okay,
shop.
okay, okay.
If
Yeah.
anyone is ever interested, and if you come by Kumon, we do have discount coupons.
Nice,
So
nice.
help
So,
small businesses.
yeah,
Yeah.
would you say that Koyo is your current favorite?
It's one of them.
Okay.
Seven Leaves probably still ranks higher. But yeah.
That's how you know a true
It
boba
is
person
so
is that
bad.
you can't like
It is
decide
so,
on
so,
like your
so,
favorite
so bad. Friends, don't encourage me on my boba enthusiasm.
Angie, before you go, I want to talk to you about a new Instagram that you started.
Yes.
Can you tell me about what's the handle? What's the handle? J&A Eats or something like that?
Yeah,
What is that?
J&A Eats.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, so basically my fiance and I, from pretty early on in our relationship, we Josh ever since he was in college, like he had to ever since he was in college, he had to cook a lot, and his mom kind of trained him at an early age. So he loves cooking, and so unfortunately, I did not grow up with that same kind of influence. Like in college, I started cooking myself, but it's like super, super, super mediocre
Okay.
stuff. Like nothing worth
Okay.
sharing. So and then we started dating, and yeah, cooking we found kind of became like a pastime on the weekends for us to spend time together and to work together. And he like was super patient with me too. I mentioned this in the description of my first post, but yeah, I am super noob when it comes to things like knife technique and like chopping onions correctly without burning my eyes out, like and so yeah, it sort of became like one of our favorite things to do together, even though one of us is way better at it than the other. But I'm slowly learning, also in prep for marriage, because
I think that's awesome. I think that's a great way to learn and grow together as a couple, just as all the cooking here. And so I'm very thankful for that. Yeah, Angie, are you do you have like certain meals that you think you're gonna be like, okay, this is like the meal that I'm going to call my own? Like your own specialty?
No, not yet. Still learning, still getting there.
I'm excited for content that you're gonna post, Angie. Are you gonna do like how to or like live videos where you're like cooking in real time?
I don't know about live. That's a little bit too daunting. I think how to's maybe. It just takes a lot of time to edit and stuff. But yeah, I just kind of thought of it as something for us to like do together and to kind of embark on this like food blog thing together, because like he's not on social media, and no one ever knows, like I don't know how no one knows about his cooking. So I was like, I'll be your social media manager, and it's worth sharing. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Angie, I did follow you there, and I'm excited to see what you post. J&A Eats, everybody. Follow.
It's and okay, Kristen. I think, yeah, we like showed the Instagram handle to one of my close friends, and Josh was like, "What do you think it says?" And I was like, "No, she's gonna know." And he was like, "No, I want to know what she thinks it is." And she also read it as Janda Eats. So it's, yeah.
There's like no way you can format it. So
no, like, yeah. Yeah, initially we wanted to capitalize the letters, and I was like, Josh, Instagram doesn't recognize that. And so yeah, it's okay.
Angie, I'm so thankful for you, for your cooking and for your Instagramming, your counseling, your boba recommendations, and obviously for your singing and leading with me. And I think I can speak on behalf of the rest of FCBC that we're very grateful to have you as our sister in Christ. Thank you so much for going live with me and chatting.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Yeah, and thank you. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to still serve the church body in this time when I feel like so many of us feel kind of incapacitated by COVID. And so the fact that we can still do this, and I have the privilege to be up there and to sing and lead our family into worship. It's a big blessing.
Thanks, Angie. I can't wait to do it again. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, see ya.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.